I do wish I could have more of an influence on you, politically speaking.
Oh, you will, from now on. What was that nonsense you were going on about the other night?
Equality?
Yes, that's precisely the sort of hot garbage that I mean.
You care about gender and racial equality.
I can't do this without you, Flora. I care about whatever you care about. I just want to be in charge. Policy can be whatever, just, make it seem like it was my idea.
And you'll commit to a progressive agenda.
As long as you can sell it to Joe and Jane Bloody Spit, I think we'll be just fine.
Oh, Ephraim, there's no telling where we can go now.
A solid gold statue of me right outside the White House.
Well, no, that's ridiculous.
We'll talk about it.
We will not.
Okay.
Suddenly, Arnold is wearing a different shirt.
Hey, I've got a different shirt.
He notices that Suggins is
Ephraim,
awake.
you're awake.
Arnold Reston, I'm awake, and we have much work to do.
The scene goes dark and the narrators make their way back to the center stage.
At first, everyone thought young Suggett was full of, as they say, beans.
Full of potatoes, as they say.
Just old dress socks stuffed with nickels.
A real live pudding person, if you take my meaning.
Pumpkinhead, but hollowed out and packed with a whole mess of happy worms.
Take pillowcase. Insert horse-chewed marshmallows. Salt to taste.
What my father used to call a moss-skilled liver lover.
Well, my father used to call your father a whiffle-headed blister popper.
What else do you do with blisters?
You let them sit. The blister is the home around the wound in the home that lets the wound rest and heal. You're destroying the wound's home.
What I do is I peel the skin off and I eat it. I eat it!
Beyond disgusting.
That was my nickname in high school.
Beyond disgusting was your nickname in high school.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you said guy who brutally attacked the school nurse.
Okay, that's my favorite joke.
Speaking of transitional material, let's drop in on now fully recovered Ephraim Suggins as he attempts to make good on his promise to his dear wife. We joined the gang at the opening of the Peanut County Women's Shelter.
As the narrators leave the stage, a podium is set up and most of the main cast is crowded around facing it. A ribbon between two poles is also set up. Ephraim enters from off stage to raucous applause. He approaches the podium. Flora and Arnold appear on either side of him, slightly set aback. As Ephraim prepares to speak, the crowd grows silent.
Good afternoon, Peanut County citizens and women.
General applause.
Yay!
Yeah, whatever.
What is a women's shelter, really? That is the question that neither myself nor any of my male friends, and I have many, were able to answer. Thankfully, my beautiful wife Flora here was able to fill me in. For whatever reason, some women need to get away from their husbands. Why? Don't ask me. Maybe they have some aversion to food on the table and pretty dresses in the closet. Where do they think these things come from? The way I see it, since the husband provides for the wife and they are entered in a holy covenant before God, she is essentially his slave. That's the only fair arrangement I can think of. Furthermore, you should be able to go to a market and exchange your wife for another one. Or you should at least be able to use your wife as a credit to offset the cost of a newer, more state-of-the-art wife. That seems reasonable to me. The way I see it, if you grow tired of your wife and would be better served by, say, 3 cows, an ox, and 2 chickens, things could be arranged, exchanges calculated, etc. In addition, let's talk refund policy.
Flora sharply elbows Suggins, who lets out a pained yell.
I get the sense that I'm losing the crowd here. I can't stand in the way of women's progress. If some women are unhappy in their marriages, I suppose they have every right to leave these days, especially if their husbands are beating them up for one of the non-approved reasons. As Mississippi State Senator, I want everyone in my state to feel safe and...
Suddenly, a man dressed in black breaks through the crowd and shoots Suggins twice in the chest.
Suggins wants women to rise up and kill all the men, and this shelter is just the beginning. What about shelters for men? What about voting for men?
As he delivers these last lines, he is wrestled to the ground. Flora and Arnold tend to Suggins.
Wow, Ephraim. This is the second time you've been shot within the span of 1 year.
Really? Could have sworn it was 372 days.
Well, how many days are in a year?
Nobody knows, really.
He loses consciousness. Flora begins to wail. The narrators enter.
And he really died that time.
So go on. We can't, but you still can.
Tell people about us.
What year is it out there?
Suddenly, Suggins regains consciousness and screams.
Ephraim, you're alive!
It turns out that the bullet hit all those bricks that I was wearing underneath my shirt. I'm fine!
It's a miracle!
The two embrace. Offstage, Travis and Sharavis look horrified.
He was supposed to be dead this time. We were going to be allowed to leave.
Well, you don't know that.
How do we know what we know?
Okay, let's get you a fruit cocktail cup.
They exit stage.
Did you hear something?
What, those old guys?
No. I guess not.
Follow me off stage. I've had the greatest idea while I was dead for a few seconds.
They follow him.
Hey, why were you wearing a bunch of bricks under your shirt?
Don't worry about it.
Arnold hesitates and returns to the stage alone. He takes a piece of paper out of his pocket and reads it again.
Well, who's the strange man?
2:30 p.m. Dink City Cafe.
He looks around in anticipation. He is clearly expecting someone. A strange man enters from off stage.
Arnold Reston.
Yes?
My name is M. Frary, and I think I might have some information that you will find interesting.
What kind of information?
Let's just say it concerns our mutual acquaintance, Ephraim Suggins.
What kind of information?
What?
Sorry, I was thinking of a new kind of cartoon. What about a cat that hates Mondays?
I don't think a cat knows what day it is.
That's what's funny. Cats don't usually even care about what day it is, let alone weigh in on a particular day.
Well, you just sucked all the remaining joy out of that one.
You know that state senator Suggins is my cousin, right? If you're looking for a handout, you can look elsewhere.
I'm not looking for any money. I'm just looking for 5 minutes of the senator's time.
State senator.
Yes.
Why are you coming to me?
Because I think that even though you're Ephraim's crony, you ultimately want to know the truth.
I'm not Ephraim's crony.
What do you call someone who never disagrees with him, no matter how wrong he is?
I disagreed with him once. He threatened to have my head chopped off for like 5 minutes. The threat took like 5 minutes. I have to assume the chopping off part would have been quicker.
Once I tell you this bit of information, he'll never be able to threaten you again. Not without risk of exposing himself.
I don't believe for 1 second that you care about my safety at all. What's your angle in this?
I'm just a fan of the truth who wants it to reach as many ears as possible.
Are you willing to go on the record? Of course, we have no way to record you unless I can get some wax or soft metal and a large conical horn. Shit, my horn guy has dog flu.
You'll remember this. There's no need to resort to hilariously primitive recording techniques.
Okay, then out with it.
You know that mysterious brother Willowsby Suggins that Ephraim never, ever mentions?
Sure, the dead one.
Willowsby Suggins isn't dead. In fact, he's closer than you think.
Is this like a Jesus thing?
It's not a Jesus thing. It's an I'm Willowsby Suggins thing.
But you can't be. He's dead.
Despite the best efforts of some, I'm not.
When you say some,
Let's grab a booth. You're gonna want a cup of coffee for this.
I only like hot water with sugar and even more mustard.
Well, you're gonna want a cup of whatever the hell that is for this.
The two men keep conversing, but are doing so without audio from this point forward. Travis and Travis make their respective ways out to stage.
Can I say it?
Who wants that possum toss?
Arguably the possum, he got one last ride.
Okay, but after the possum, who won?
You.
So I get to say it.
Am I stopping you?
Travis takes a deep breath, beams at the audience, and begins to speak.
Meanwhile,
Not the way I would have played it, but whatever.
They exit the stage as Suggins enters, surrounded by a whirlwind of reporters. They are taking pictures and hurling questions at him in rapid fire.
Alright, reporter 1.
Got it.
Now, if you'll just speak one at a damn time, I promise I'll answer all your questions to the best of my ability.
State Senator Suggins, Marvin Fabich, the Pagawana Detroiter, is it true that you've thrown your hat in the ring for the vacant Senate seat in Mississippi?
Well, I don't think Senator McLeod will be showing up anymore, so we might as well get someone to collect his paychecks.
Mr. Suggins, Rhonda Anderson, the Newark so-and-so. Is it true that you're running on an I got shot twice for America ticket?
Absolutely. Nobody has sacrificed more than I in service for this country. I was shot twice in slightly over 1 year for my beliefs. I'm going to bring that tendency to make people want to shoot you all the way to Washington.
Mr. Suggins, Jack Larry at Toledo Daily Read It. We keep getting conflicting information on the whereabouts of Senator McLeod. One source says that he's very high up, while another says that he's buried far below. Care to comment?
As someone who isn't sure what happened to the good senator, I don't know that a comment from me would do any good at all.
Future Senator Suggins, Wilma Honeysuckle, the Augusta, go ahead now. Have you researched your opponent?
Last I heard, I was running unopposed. Who's this opponent?
Senator Teddy Frome from the Denver Yum Yum. It's actually Rollo Speck, the gentleman who shot you the first time.
That communist? I don't care that he shot me, but anyone who advocates everyone sharing everything clearly can't hack it with a capitalistic society. What kind of pants does he even wear? I wear the expensive kind.
Are you saying you oppose progressive reforms like the kind Speck is advocating?
I oppose shabby dressing. I'm as progressive as the next guy, but let's be progressive in a clean pair of slacks, eh, boys?
What do you think about poll taxes, Jim Crow laws, the Negro vote?
Why would the Negro want to vote? It's incredibly difficult. Waiting in line at a polling place, not allowed to move until someone tells you to. Why, it sure makes me feel like a slave. Best not have them relive that.
Suddenly, the crowd parts to reveal Rollo Speck. Suggins notices.
Groans.
Well, what a surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, Rollo Speck, the first man to shoot me. The other could be here today, which I'm afraid prevents this from being a true reunion. Hey, Speck, for a guy that likes sharing everything, you even got to share shooting me with someone else.
Oh, that was Eddie.
I should have finished the job, you tiny tyrant.
I'll have you know that I am in the 75th percentile for height and weight for my age group, and yes, you should have finished the job.
You can't be a
Like
senator. You can't be a senator. You have no morals or values, no ideas of your own. You're a hollow, diseased little boy full of rotten filth.
Oh.
Okay, settle down. What is this, the 4th grade?
How would you know?
Became a state senator at 10 years old, dropped out of high school. What's the difference?
Well, how do you know that I received a bachelor's degree from Mississippi College of Fancy Business?
Wow, a real man of the people. What did they teach you there? How to pick out an ascot?
I mean, not the first day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is fairly typical of my progressive opponents. They're all bluster here. Human rights there, but backing them up is a purse full of money from mama and papa and a fancy degree. I don't have a degree. I don't even know all the shapes. Like, what's the one that's like a square with a triangle hat?
He's doing it again. Being ignorant and childish isn't honorable. It isn't something you want from a politician. What happens when someone steals his juice? He's going to freak out.
Nobody move! Till we find out what happened to my juice.